In this video, we're going to cover the basics of the Content tab. What you'll see when you click on Content is that there are a couple of things you can do. Number one, you can search by RSS feed, which we will get to in a different video. And then secondly, you can go ahead and start to search by keywords. And you'll notice that by default, the Google Instant or Auto Suggest is ticked, and that means that you'll start to see some of the Google Instant results as well. I keep that on by default. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is type in German Shepherd. That makes a lot of sense since that's the topic of my page. And we'll go ahead and click German Shepherd and go ahead and start our results. Now, it may take a minute or two. There's a lot of content and there's a lot of stuff that's going on in the background. So always be patient with the software. You can start to see it came back. I've got 155 results and there is a lot of content that's going on here. So let's just look at one of these posts and start to get some information on what's happening. So first off, you can see that you can go ahead and approve the post directly from the Content tab. This is a great way to get started and to start pushing content over into your schedule as quickly as possible. So to do that, all you have to do is click the approve button. Now you may want to do some other things before you hit approve. So let's walk through a couple of things. First off, you notice over here there is a little green flag that says new content. And what this means is that our database is tracking what's going on and we are keeping track on your behalf of the content that is being pulled in as well as the content that you publish. And we do that so that later on as as weeks go by that you don't have to keep remembering whether or not you publish something. Now there's a caveat to that, which is this: what we're able to do is keep track of the link itself. That doesn't mean that you won't always see the same bit of content. And here's what I mean. In the same way that if you were over on Google and you were doing a Google search for some kind of images, you're going to see duplicate images. And the reason is because that image may be on different websites. That's the same thing could happen with us as well. So this image right here could be on this site, and it could be on another site and another site and another site. We can't track the actual image in the same way that Google cannot track the actual image. There's just not enough data in the background for us to be able to specify this image. What we can do is keep track of the links, the source links, and be able to let you know what's going on, so that if later on you were to have published this and then see it again through this link, we're going to go ahead and let you know, and this flag would be red to let you know that you've published it so that you can make a wise decision moving forward. Now, there's a couple of other things going on. Now, notice up here, we give you the opportunity to block the content permanently, which means that if you go through here and you find something that's completely not relevant, you can go ahead and just block it so that you don't see it again in future searches. The other thing, you can just go ahead and hide it, so it's not nearly as aggressive as a block. I don't really find there's a huge difference between the two. But anyway, so we can block or you can hide it. So that's number one. Number two is that you can go ahead and edit any of these. So what we do is we are providing you on our images, we're providing the source file for the image. We do that so that you can make a decision about whether or not you want to put that in there. Some of our users have expressed concerns about copyright issues. Personally, I don't worry about it, but that is completely up to you. So we give we give the link to you. Now let's say that you decided, I don't want to put the link in there. Well, look, it's not a big deal. Let me go back here. So if I decide I don't want to put the link in there, we're talking about 4 seconds. We click that and we hit done. So we would rather give you that information now and let you make a decision about it. So anyways, what I'm able to do, when I hit the edit button, you can see the field comes up here and I could say fun in the sun. Or I can put whatever I want in here. I can put in links, I can do whatever I want. This is the text that will accompany your image. You don't have to put any text in there if you don't want to, but I'll go ahead and leave that in there for our example. And then what you can see is that by default, whichever schedule you created and listed as a default schedule, that will be in here. So for me, I have my German Shepherd Master. That's my default. If I wanted to put this into another schedule, I would need to just go in and choose that. But for our purposes, I'm going to leave it in the master. And if I like what I see here, I like the picture, I like whatever text I'm going to put in, all I do is hit approve. Now there's another couple of things that are going on. You're going to see this little arrow, and the arrow right here lets you choose whether or not you want to publish a particular post also over to a WordPress blog. Now we'll cover that in a separate video, but up here it lets you know that this is connected or not connected. If it's connected, it's green, and it tells you that you have a WordPress site that is connected to the post associated with this page. And again, we'll cover that in a separate video. But if I do have one connected, then at any point I can choose which post I want to publish to my WordPress site as well. So you can see that we have the images, videos, news, web, also the RSS feed. And what I'm able to do is I can make these, I can go in and choose and approve content from all the variety of sources. Again, we will cover how to pull in content from fan pages and Twitter and Pinterest and some of the kind of some of the authority sites. We'll cover that in a separate video. I just want you to get comfortable right here. Now, one last thing before I let you go to the next video. What you'll see is once you find a keyword that is relevant and that is pulling back the kind of results that you want, go ahead and save that keyword to the sandbox. So German Shepherd is very relevant to me. Now, you may think that it's in your best interest to add 20 or 30 or 40 different keywords into the sandbox. I'm telling you that's not really the case. The way that things work, you really only need 3 to 5, maybe 7 keywords. So don't go crazy and start adding a lot of keywords. There is so much content out there that is exactly what you want. Either be incredibly specific or be broad, but don't feel like the solution here is to add as many related keywords as possible. We actually recommend that you start with 3 to 5 targeted keywords. Allow the content to come in. Now, the final thing I want to tell you, and this is just a recommendation, is that you're going to see all this content come in. And here is my recommendation to you. You need to make decisions about the content that you see. If you don't make decisions, you will continue to see the same content again and again. You need to actually go through. So right now, there's all these results. And if I'm going to go ahead and start to really load up my page with content and get that stuff scheduled so that my life becomes easier down the line, you need to dedicate the time right now and make decisions. If I like this, I'm going to approve it. If I don't like it, I'm going to hide it. If I like it, I'm going to approve it. If I don't like it, I'm going to hide it. You need to think about this like you are dealing cards, and you don't skip cards. I'm not going to go down here and say, ooh, which one do I like? Ooh, I like this one. I'm going to approve it. And then I'm just going to forget about the rest. It is really in your best interest to go ahead and make your decisions now. If you can go through this, you can load up a week or 2 weeks of content very, very quickly. If you scroll around and look for what you like, that is not an effective way to use the tool. So make your decisions. If I like this one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to approve it. If I don't like this one, I don't like that picture, I'm going to delete that. I'll say this one. Mine. And I will approve it. I don't think that's a great picture. I'm going to block it. I don't think that's a great picture. I'm going to block it. And you really need to make those decisions. We have done this intentionally to get this content in front of you so that you can make these decisions and load up your pages as much as possible. Now, just to give you a quick preview, so you don't feel like, oh my gosh, as soon as I hit, approve, it's going to go into, over to Facebook. That's not the case. Just to give you a quick preview, and we'll cover this in greater detail in a little bit. You can see that based upon the schedule that I created, my images are ready to go. And at any point I can go in and I can edit these up, you know, and I can say besties and hit repost. And now it's ready to go. So again, pick your content, throw it over there, get it approved or hide it, and then you can go back in and edit it. And we'll show you how to edit and reschedule your posts in a later video. So that's it for now. We'll see you the next time.